Now, I know I said in the previous ramble that I was leaning on team taming as the new skill pitch. I was really thinking that taming would be the best of the three out of sailing and shamanism. But as of pretty much last night, I've actually kind of drifted completely away from team taming. I had watched the pre-recorded about 2 hour long JMod ramble about all the new skills. And I swear, their idea of taming is so depressing. Like, it's genuinely depressing. I was watching it, and they just kept kind of going around in the same cycle of, we don't really know what taming's going to be. It can't be related to combat, so it can't have anything like actually fun. It would be too game break, and it would be too... there'd be way too many changes if it affected combat. So we're not going to have it affect combat, but we're going to have it affect like other things like skilling. And I swear they never actually brought up any good, solid, concrete ideas about taming. It was just like what we're not going to do. Like, we're not going to allow your pet or whatever to give you just a passive fishing bonus, for example. Mod Husky was saying this. And then I swear, like, the biggest chunk of taming, like the fun of it, is you take them to these goddamn training centers and you just like leave them there to train them. It just felt really boring, kind of depressing in a way. It doesn't seem like anybody really knows what taming's going to be. I don't think the community has any idea. And that whole segment, I was very tempted to skip over because I was actually just getting really bored. So, but shout out to the J mods, because especially Mod Husky, he killed it. His whole spiel on sailing was phenomenal. It got me so goddamn pumped. Now, I think the original person that got me very pumped for sailing was BC Guppy. By the way, guys, that is actually one of the I think it is still my top viewed video ever, is the BC Guppy cast. And I think in that part 1 section, which is the video that has the most views on my channel, there's a part 2 to it as well, which we recorded the very next day. So if you guys are interested in listening to both those, I believe though the first part we talk about sailing, and I got so pumped. He has such amazing ideas for it. I was starting to spew out my own ideas. Keep in mind, this is years ago, but Mod Husky kind of like made me relive that glory of how amazing sailing is and the potential of it. And some of the things that he had mentioned were, one thing I'm a little bit sad about, and I mentioned this in the ramble, was they didn't really mention much about PvP, the potential of PvP when it comes to sailing. There is so much potential for PvP. But other than that, I mean, sailing just sounds like a goddamn blast. It's not going to break the game, but it's going to allow a brand new chunk of the world, which is the ocean and stuff, being able to sail wherever you want. And it's not an instance. That is something that just sounds amazing. Being able to sail with friends, just going around, whatever. I don't know how they're going to really work that out. I don't know if our boats are going to be like miniature or something, and we're all just like, I don't know if our boats can go inside of each other. You know how we can stand on top of each other? I wonder if our boats can go inside of each other. I hope not, to be honest. But then they would have to make some fundamental changes about how water works. And I don't know. I'm very curious to see what they do. But I'm very much leaning on sailing because of the huge potentials with new monsters, new islands, new... being able to pimp out your boat, sailing randomly somewhere and finding an Easter egg. Like, that just sounds amazing. Shamanism, they had mentioned. Now, shamanism is my number 2 right now. Sailing's number 1. I'm 100% on board with team sailing. Team sailing. Type a 1 down in the comments if you guys are team sailing. I want to hear it. Or just type sailing if you're team sailing. But let me know what you guys are still leaning on now that it's been a couple days and we've had a little bit of time to kind of think and hopefully watch the videos that the JMods have produced. And hopefully in the next coming days, it'll even be made more clear which skill we really do want. I would be surprised if I change my mind on sailing, however, at this point. Now, shamanism is still a great idea. I still think it has a lot of potential. Way more potential than taming, to be quite honest. I just worry because I think the excitement that comes with shamanism, or whatever they're going to call it, is like untradeable imbues. Now, I know they say they could just scrap that whole idea, but then like, what are we getting from the skill? Sailing you don't even need rewards. I mean, the reward is literally sailing. Like that's just like the fun. Like people want to sail. People want to have their own goddamn boat and just travel around, pimp out your boat, get some new get some crew members on your boat. I don't know. It just sounds cool. It sounds fun to be a goddamn just sailor. I don't know if it sounds fun. I'm a little worried about shamanism though. The cool thing is that whole spirit realm going into unexplored areas. That reminds it's like the same vibe as sailing, where it is an unexplored. You have the map that we currently have, and that can be all turned into the spirit realm. So technically, it's like you're just multiplying the map by 2. Sailing kind of feels the same, where the ocean is completely bland, and now that's going to just be booming with life, and I'm excited about it. There are a few cool things about shamanism. One is just the whole magic scene lore that we don't really know much about, because Husky had brought it up, or maybe it was Kieran, talking about how runes in game, like there's magic inside of those runes that we all use for magic, but there's other magic around the game that doesn't use runes, and they're like, I don't know, it'd be cool to explore the lore behind the magic of Gielinor and what's producing this magical energy. And I don't know, the lore's, even though it's nerdy to say, I want to hear more about the lore, I do want to hear more about the lore. I also think shamanism has a lot of potential for furthering quest lines and just giving more quests in general. It's same with sailing, to be quite honest. There could be tons and tons of quests that involve sailing. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts for now. So I will be making more videos along these lines, but I just wanted to make this video just saying, because I streamed earlier today and people were still judging me for initially being team taming, and I never actually made it very clear that I'm not team taming anymore. I was for that day briefly, and now I'm completely team sailing. So let me know if I made a mistake. Let me know if anybody down in the comments is team taming. I'd be very curious to see. And what are your convincing, what convinced you to be team taming, if not? Because I feel like that is the very lowest of lows when it comes to the community's consensus of what they want as a new skill. Taming's just way down there. I think shamanism and sailing are actually pretty head to head. I think shamanism's a little bit higher. So I'm trying to pump up those sailing numbers. So let me know what you guys think. Down in the description as well, I will include that Jagex 2-hour presentation that the JMods had. It was like an off-stream Q&A sort of thing. And it's very helpful. So if you guys haven't watched that and you guys have 2 hours of spare time, go check it out. It's pretty interesting. Husky kills it. He's just, I don't know, he's very entertaining to listen to about his skill ideas and what he can, I don't know, he's just a great dev, and he can bring his ideas to life pretty easily through words, so it's cool. Anyway, I'll have that down in the description. Also, down in the description, go follow me on Twitch and Twitter down there. Like the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Have a wonderful night.